Once again, good morning and welcome to the webinar this morning. We're very excited at the Messer Financial Group today to bring to you the Columbian Financial Group. As you know from lessons in the past, our main purpose here is to focus on the carriers that you can get contracted with, find out what their sweet spots are, and find out about their products, enabling you as an agent to be more confident as you go forward to meet your clients for sales purposes. Again, this is Mark Conter, and just a couple of basic housekeeping issues. Number one, you are muted, so you should not have any need to get on the phone or talk to us on the mic. However, if noise in the background sounds like it's coming from your location, perhaps it slipped through. Any questions that you have during the presentation, we're going to ask that you go ahead and you type those in and make those available to all of us. Please stay with us until the very end, at which time we'll present the bonuses that will be available to only those who have attended today's presentation. Again, I'm really looking forward to the information that's going to be shared with you today. With us is Mike Oliver. Mike is our Regional Sales Director from Raleigh for the Columbian Financial Group. We also have Carrie Palomari, and Carrie is going to bring us the information as the Director of the Marketing and Administration. And in the background, we have Karen Amaratrano. I messed it up a little bit. Amaratrano, we'll get that fixed. And she is the second VP of Underwriting, so you can get a little basic understanding of how the underwriting works with this wonderful presentation today. So with that in mind, let me first of all begin with good morning, Mike. How are you doing?
Good morning. How are you guys doing today? We're excited about having you with us today, and we hope to bring a lot of good things to you guys. And I know you will enjoy the products and everything. And please, if you have any questions, Carrie and Karen and myself, we're pretty well versed on it, and we look forward to doing business with you.
Thank you, Mike. And again, Carrie, good morning.
Good morning.
All yours, girl.
All right. Well, thank you all for taking time out of your morning. I know it takes you out of the field, away from writing those applications, so we definitely appreciate you taking the time to join us this morning. A little bit about Columbian for you guys on the call. The Columbian Financial Group of Companies includes our parent company, Columbian Mutual Life Insurance Company, along with Columbian Life Insurance Company, and some other affiliated companies within our corporate family. We have been in business for over 130 years. We're actually almost to 135 now. And our home office is based out of upstate New York in Binghamton. We really pride ourselves on offering exceptional customer service. We have a dedicated sales support team, along with one of the biggest perks I think we always like to sell is you call our home office, you have a question, you have an underwriting concern, you call, you speak to an underwriter immediately, real time. We really, like I said, pride ourselves on our exceptional customer service that we offer to the field. And we know that without you guys, we wouldn't be here. So we're here to help. That's why we're here. So again, any questions that you may have as we go through some of the product training this morning, please put those up on the board and we will get those answered for you. And then towards the end, I'll also provide you guys with some additional contact information that you may need to help get you started as you look to further evolve your relationship with us. So the first product we're going to go over this morning is our TermLife. That is a simplified issue TermLife product, and you'll see the states that were marketed in to do business there are all in blue. Our product overview, the TermLife is a level benefit term insurance, which is renewable to age 95, and it's available with initial level premiums for 15, 20, or 30 years. We also have the TermLife Plus, which is available with the initial level premiums for 20 or 30 years, and it pays the return of 50% of base policy premiums at the end of that initial term period. We waive premiums for up to 6 months if the insured becomes unemployed after the second policy anniversary and collects unemployment benefits for at least 4 consecutive weeks. The lifetime benefit under the policy is 6 months, and it's automatically provided with the policy at no additional premium were allowed. You'll see the available riders that we have with this policy: the accelerated benefit, accidental death, the children's insurance, and the disability waiver of premium. And the issue amounts you can get from a range of $25,000 to $200,000. Again, you'll see the issue ages there both for the non-return of premium and the Term Life Plus, which is the 50% return of premium. Some key underwriting features is that obviously it's simplified issue. We have tobacco and non-tobacco classes. It's standard issue only through Table D. And for conversions, when interested, the policies are convertible after the first policy anniversary. And based on the term period, whether it's 15, 20, or 30, they are available through years 10, 15, or 25, respectively. So the next screen here is just an overview of the riders. Just kind of gives you a description of what each of the riders are and some additional information. The accelerated benefit rider is a 50% advance on base policy benefit for terminal condition and life expectancy of 12 months or less. The accidental death benefit is an additional benefit that's equal to the face amount of the policy for accidental death. The rider doesn't remain in effect to the first policy anniversary on or after the insured's 70th birthday, and there is a maximum $250,000 accidental death benefit for all Columbian policies combined. Our children's term rider comes available in units of $1,000 of level coverage, and this is convertible term coverage on all eligible children to each child's age 25. Children becoming eligible after the rider issue are automatically covered, so that's a really great benefit there. And we offer the rider available in units ranging from 5 to 15. Our disability waiver waives premiums after 6 months of total and continuous disability. And if the disability begins before the age 60, the premiums will continue to be waived until the disability ends. If it begins on or after the 60th birthday, the premiums will resume again at age 55 or when the disability ends, whichever happens to occur first there. So the next screen here is just a sample of our application. Not necessarily going to go through this line by line out of respect for time and the other products we have to go through this morning, but I think you can see here, I'll just give everyone a moment to kind of look over that. It is very simplistic, very simple questions. If in section B, if you answer yes to any of the questions, you have to provide details in a chart that's listed below on that. There are an applications tip piece as well here telling you you can disregard. So the one thing I do want to point out there, question number 3, have you obtained a home mortgage or refinanced an existing mortgage, been married and or had or adopted a child in the last 3 years? If no, do not continue. This question actually can be disregarded altogether. We actually have a slight variation of this product that we have available. So this question does not pertain to the term life. That can be disregarded in its entirety. And again, we want to make sure we include the driver's license number and state of issue. And as mentioned down here, if we have any yes answers, we want to provide details. And then down here at the bottom of section C is where you'll provide any details to any yes answers. The electronic funds transfer, when completing this section of the application, we've got some tips here for you on when to complete which section. We've got a one-time electronic fund transfer that we're going to complete that section for immediate draft of the initial premium. So for example, common verbiage is probably cash with app. If you're collecting the cash with app, then you would complete that immediate draft section of the application. You don't need to collect a check with the app, but if you do, you enter the amount paid. And then be sure to complete the one-time electronic fund transfer section and obtain the authorized signature even if you are submitting the check. The initial premium will be drafted immediately upon receipt of the application, but you want to make sure not to complete this section if the initial premium is not intended to be drafted immediately, because if you do complete that, it does get drafted immediately upon receipt of the application. Now, the first draft and ongoing electronic fund transfer, that section you're going to complete to specify a later date for the first premium to be drafted. And that's going to be at the bottom portion there of the application. Now, this section is, again, for a later date for the first premium to be drafted and or for ongoing premiums to be drafted. You can choose a draft date, or your client can choose a draft date between the 1st and the 28th of the month. But again, as you fill out that application, the date must be within 30 days of that application date. And within that section, please do not request draft on approval, because that's something we cannot do. The policy effective date will be the date of the first draft, and then commissions are not payable until the first premium has been drafted with that. Here is a workflow chart for you to kind of give you an overview of our underwriting workflow for this product. So basically, the first step is to complete the application, asking all questions in the health history section. Second step, you submit the application and any required forms to our Binghamton home office. And then the third step, upon receipt of the application, Columbian is going to perform an MIB check, a prescription drug database check, and a motor vehicle report check. A telephone interview may be conducted if necessary to follow up on any of the above items, any questions that there may be in the health history section. One thing that I wanted to point out, both for the TermLife product and for the other products we're going to go through today, we have web support available to you, and what you're seeing now is an agent's dashboard page. This is a secure portal for our agents to log on to view their business, to view their policies, to view their commissions, and there is a policy management section. So once contracted with us, you receive your agent writing number and you use that to create your user login so you have secure access to this portal. And this is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Here is the same thing. This is our agent portal for the business, and this is just showing you, if you click on actually one of the policies, this is showing you the detail level breakdown that this is going to provide you with. So you'll see it's going to give you the plan information, the coverage information here, the status of the policy when it was issued, the paid to date of the policy, who your policy owner is, who your insured is, who the payer of that policy is. Down here, it'll show the participating agents. So if you have any split cases, both would show up there. This is going to be your writing number here, and then it would have your name where it says, where it says Columbian representative, it would have your name there. And then down here, of course, is the billing details for the policy and then the payment history. And that is all we have on the term life policy. So what I can do now, Mark, I can jump right into our final expense if that works for you. I don't know if you want to open it up for questions on the term life first.
Let's go right into the final expense product, if we could, please, Carrie.
Perfect, absolutely. So this product we are super excited about. We actually started in the final expense market about 15 years ago, and this year, actually next month on July 5th, we're going live with a nationwide rollout of the next generation of final expense. So it is our Dignified Choice Classic Series product, and just one disclaimer for this presentation as I go through it. There are some pages that I'm going to skip through rather fast and possibly not cover it all, because what those pages are doing is they're comparing to our existing producers the benefits of our new final expense versus what they've been selling for the past 15 years. But basically, the final expense Dignified Choice Classic Series is offering 4 plans. We offer 4 plans within the portfolio to increase the sales opportunity by providing a plan for nearly all situations. They're tiered into 2 full benefits, a modified benefit, and a near guaranteed issue. Our maximum face amount, our Classic Elite, is going to be our top full benefit. That's going to be for our clients that are in the top tier of health. And the maximum face amount for that is going to be $35,000, and that's for issue ages 25 to 80. Our Select is also a full benefit, but again, they may not have been able to answer no to all of the health questions on the application, so they're not quite elite. They've qualified for the Select, and that maximum face amount also is going to be the $35,000 and issue ages of 25. Our Classic Advantage is our modified benefit, and that offers a face amount to $20,000 for all issue ages. And then our Classic Security, you're going to find, has very liberal underwriting and offers coverage up to $10,000. To dig in a little bit deeper here, our Classic Elite, again, which is our top tier benefit, is a full benefit whole life insurance with simplified underwriting and level premiums. The death benefit offers immediate coverage with level death benefit in all years. We have classifications of both tobacco and non. Again, to qualify for this, all application health questions must be answered no. We perform an MIB check. There is a point of sale telephone interview, a prescription drug database check, a height and weight, and there is a motor vehicle report, which we do have to run, but you will see that is only for issue ages of 25 to 35. Issue limits, again, from ages 25 to 44 range from $5,000 up to $35,000. Ages 45 to 80 go from $2,500 to $35,000. And then issue ages 81 to 85 are $2,500 to $25,000. Our Classic Select, again, is a full benefit plan with simplified underwriting and level premiums. It still does have the immediate full coverage with level death benefit in all years, and as well has the tobacco and non-tobacco classifications. The issue limits on that plan are listed over there on the side of the screen, and you'll see here for the underwriting, any Part 4 application health questions answered yes would qualify them for the Classic Select as opposed to the Elite. We do the MIB check, the telephone interview, the drug database check, and that MVR report, again, only for that 25 to 35 age bracket, and then we have our height and weight. Our Classic Advantage is a graded benefit whole life insurance with the simplified underwriting and level premiums. We offer a return of premiums plus 6% interest for non-accidental death that occurs within the first 2 policy years. The full face amount for accidental death occurring within the first 2 policy years or for death by any cause in year 3 or thereafter. We offer this policy for issue ages of 45 to 85 with face amounts ranging from $2,500 up to $20,000. The underwriting, any Part 3 health questions answered yes, or if there are 2 or more questions in Part 4 that are answered yes. Again, here you'll see with the Classic Advantage, we do the MIB check, the prescription drug database check, the height and weight, and depending on whether or not we feel it is necessary, a telephone interview may be conducted by the company. Our Classic Security is our near guaranteed issue tier of the product, and it's graded benefit whole life insurance with simplified underwriting and level premiums. We do offer this for issue ages 45 to 80 with face amounts ranging from $2,000 to $10,000. And again, this is going to offer a return of premiums plus 6% interest for non-accidental deaths occurring within the first 3 policy years. The full face amount for accidental death occurring within the first 3 policy years, or for death by any cause in year 4 or thereafter. For the underwriting to qualify for this product, any Part 2 question in the health portion of the application that's answered yes, or 2 or more questions in Part 3 would qualify them for this Classic Security near guaranteed issue product. We do an MIB check, prescription drug database check. We have our height and weight chart, and again, a telephone interview may be conducted by the company if we deem necessary. To give you an underwriting comparison during our product development, we tested a sampling of our previous issued full benefit Dignified choice plan cases against the underwriting rules for our new plans that we're offering here. And of the 50 randomly selected cases, 82% would have qualified for the Classic Elite plan. So though you guys may not be versed with our prior final expense plan, this was definitely a huge underwriting comparison that I wanted to point out to you because we are finding great experience and again 82% qualifying with that Classic Elite plan. Now I can tell you we've rolled out this new product in some pilot states a couple of months ago, and we've been piloting it with a select group of agents, and we are finding that 82% or even a little more are actually qualifying for that Classic Elite plan. So this is all, we're able to offer lower premium rates to our clients, and I think you guys are really going to love this product. The field is very excited about it, and we're really looking forward to roll it out nationwide on July 5th. Premium comparisons, I don't necessarily need to go through again because you haven't had this product, but you'll just kind of see here we were able to really lower our premiums, as I had said, for our prior product to our new product, and we take a lot of pride and are very excited about that. Some available riders that we have for the Classic Elite and Select, again, those are our top 2 tier products. We've got the Children Term Insurance Rider, the Accidental Death, and the Accelerated Death Benefit Riders. And then for our Classic Advantage, we have the Children's Term Rider and the Accelerated Death Benefit Rider. Now, the thing to note with the Accelerated Death Benefit Rider on the Classic Advantage is that that may be added after the graded benefit period and not sooner. The Children's Term Insurance Rider, that's our Grandchild rider. That's our most popular rider, I think, amongst all of our products. This is convertible term coverage to the child's age 25. The issue ages for that, the base insured, it's available from 25 to 85, and the insured child is 15 days through 18 years. We offer this in issue amounts of $2,500 to lesser of $10,000 or the base policy face amount. The max number of insured children is 20, and this rider is available with our top 3 tiered products, so our Elite, our Select, and our Advantage. The accidental death benefit rider doubles the death benefit for accidental death of the insured, and the issue age goes up to age 75. Coverage period is to age 100, and again, this rider is available for our Elite and Select plans. The accelerated benefit rider allows the owner to receive a 50% advance on the death benefit if the insured is diagnosed with a terminal condition and a life expectancy of 12 months or less. There's no premium charge for this rider, and it's available with Elite and Select from the time of issue, and it can be added to the Advantage after that graded benefit period concludes. Some underwriting information here for you. The plan availability is based in part on the height weight of the proposed insured. We do have a height weight chart available to our agents. And again, coverage is declined for any of the 4 products if any Part 1 question is answered yes. We will consider the security product. Again, that's our lowest tier, our near guaranteed issue. If any question in Part 2 is answered yes, or if 2 or more questions in Part 3 are answered yes, or if the proposed insured is 71 or older and does not have a doctor or has not seen a doctor within the last 3 years. We will consider Classic Advantage if any question in Part 3 is answered yes, or 2 or more questions in Part 4 are answered yes. And then, of course, Select will be considered if any question in Part 4 is yes, or again, the proposed insured is age 60 to 70 and doesn't have a doctor or has not seen a doctor in the past 5 years. The Classic Elite is considered if all questions are answered no. For the applications for the Elite and Select full benefit plans, again, we conduct the telephone interview at the time the application is taken. We do our prescription drug check and our MIB check during our telephone interview. And for issue ages 25 to 35, we do that MVR. The Advantage and Security are, again, our graded benefit plans. For those applications, we are doing the MIB and prescription check when we receive the application, and the telephone interview is only if needed to clarify information that we may conduct that. We do have available to our producers a comprehensive underwriting guide that we've created to assist you in the sale. The guide's going to include so much information for you and really can serve as a very useful tool. The guide includes an alphabetic list of medical impairments, prescribed medications. That's where you're going to have your height and weight charts. It's going to give you your motor vehicle violations charts, and it's going to give you all the general guidelines as well to help you make the sale. Now, here you're going to see for the health history section of the application, here's where it asks your current height and weight. And down here, again, within that underwriting guidelines brochure that we have, the eligibility is based in part by the insured's height and weight. So it gives you the males versus females and then ages and what their height and weight would be, and if they would be a decline, Elite, Select, Advantage, or Security approval based on height and weight alone. The application health questions to Part 1. Again, if any question in this section of the application is answered yes, we cannot submit this application. So again, in an effort of time, I don't know as though we necessarily want to read through all of the questions on the application, but for Part 1 of the application, the first question is, are you currently hospitalized, confined to a nursing home, hospice, bed, assisted living facility, convalescent home, correctional facility, institutionalized, receiving home health care, or confined to a wheelchair due to illness or disease? Have you ever been diagnosed by a member of the medical profession as having or tested positive for HIV or having an immune deficiency disorder, AIDS, or AIDS-related complex? Or have you been diagnosed by a member of the medical profession as having a terminal medical condition that is expected to result in death within the next 12 months? Question 3, have you ever been recommended by a member of the medical profession for an organ or bone marrow transplant, or ever had a heart, lung, liver, or bone marrow transplant, or ever had an amputation due to disease, or within the last 12 months received kidney dialysis? Question 4, are you awaiting a diagnosis or test result, or been advised by a member of the medical profession to have a surgical operation, a diagnostic test except for HIV, other than for routine screening that has not been completed? Again, these are the only 4 knockout questions we have for the Dignified Choice Classic Series plans. If any question within these 4 questions is answered yes, the proposed insured would not be eligible for any of these plans. For part 2 of the health questions, these are considered, if you answer yes, you would be considered for the graded benefit plan or classic security. And again, there's 4 questions here. Have you ever been diagnosed by a member of the medical profession with or received treatment for mental retardation, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, muscle dystrophy, spina bifida, cystic fibrosis, sickle cell anemia, Huntington's disease, or been advised by a member of the medical profession to have surgery for an unoperated heart defect? Number 2, have you ever been diagnosed or treated, including taking medication, by a member of the medical profession with congestive heart failure, Alzheimer's disease, dementia, or Lou Gehrig's disease, or received a cardiac defibrillator implant, except pacemaker implant? Number 3, during the last 24 months, have you been diagnosed or treated, including taking medication, by a member of the medical profession for any form of cancer, including leukemia, melanoma, or any other internal cancer other than basal cell skin cancer? Number 4, during the last 6 months, have you ever been diagnosed by a member of the medical profession as having a heart attack? Again, just 4 additional questions for part 2. If they answer yes, they're considered for security. If these are all answered no, obviously they move on to part 3, where you'll see we expand that out a little bit. And for part 3, if any questions in this section are answered yes, the proposed insured is going to be considered for the Classic Advantage Graded Benefit Plan. If 2 or more questions are answered yes, the proposed insured will be considered for the Classic Security Graded Benefit Plan. Then question 4 here, if any questions in part 4 is answered yes, the proposed insured will be considered for the Classic Select Full Benefit Plan. If 2 or more questions are answered yes, they'll be considered for the Advantage Graded Benefit Plan. If all questions in this section are answered no, they're going to be considered for the Classic Elite Full Benefit Plan. Part 5 for the application health questions is required for issue ages 60 to 85 only. For the date of the last visit, we only need the month and year. And for the address of physician or medical facility, only the city and state are needed. The payment section you're going to see is very similar to what we went over for our Term Life product. We're going to check the first box if the initial premium is to be drafted on a specific future date, which would be our draft first premium. And then the second box will be checked if the initial premium is to be drafted immediately upon receipt of the application at Columbian. You're going to check the third box if you'll be sending a check, a cashier's check, or a money order with the application. For ongoing premium payments, you're going to need to indicate whether ongoing premiums will be paid by direct bill or electronic funds transfer. Our graded benefit limits. Sales of graded benefit policies are limited, and the Classic Security, again, which is our near guaranteed issue, those policies may not exceed 10% of the total number of your final expense applications issued and paid within the last year, and the total number of our Advantage plus your security policies may not exceed 30% of the total number of final expense applications issued and paid within the last year. But again, as you'll recall earlier in the presentation, our experience thus far is that it's 80% plus of our clients we are finding to be eligible for our elite plans. Now, if an agent exceeds their limit, we do inform them via email that they have or will be exceeding that limit so that they can bring that percentage to an acceptable level. And they're also shown for you just below the application history section of your home page through your agent portal website. We offer a calculator for these final expense policies. You can retrieve this calculator by going to our website at cfglife.com, or you can download this through Google Play, through the Play Store if you have an Android device, or through the iOS and Apple products. You can get that as well. Our calculators are being updated as our states are being released. And this screen here kind of just gives you a display of what it's going to look like for you, whether you're viewing it on your iPhone, your Android, your iPad, or your computer. You can enter in the age or the date of birth, and then you would just hit next. And then from there, it's going to show you, based on that basic information, what products are going to be available for you to view calculations on. Now, that is displaying the available products based on, again, the state of the application, the age of the proposed insured, and the height, weight of the applicant. So this is doing all of that initial work for you. So if they qualify for any of the plans based on all of that information, all of them will be highlighted, and you will select the one you want to pull up a calculation on. And you'll see here that we selected the Elite calculation for the Elite product. And at the top of our calculator will be the summary. And as you change the features down here with this information, you'll see the summary portion change as well. You can input information based on face amount or premium, and you can type in those amounts, or you can bump them up and down with a click of a button. Only riders available for the plan that you're viewing are going to be shown on this screen. And then again, for the child rider, you can type in the number of children, or you can bump it up and down. Now, the plus sign within the summary portion on the top piece of the calculator, the plus sign, you can open that, will expand it out and display premium for all modes for you. So if you're looking at the EFT to see how much that would be, but you want to check on quarterly, semi-annual, or annual, you open up that plus box, turns into a minus, and it opens up and it breaks down those details of those modes for you. These are our product approvals and our phased rollouts. As you'll see, North Carolina will be available to you in phase 3. And our mail date for the sales material are going to be going out to our producers on June 21st. With a nationwide rollout date for policies to be written on July 5th. The state release plan, again, I don't need to go through this in detail as we did just mention that for you. However, if you did come on board and wanted to write an application today, for example, you still could write our existing final expense dignified choice application, and we will accept those old applications for 1 month after the nationwide release on July 5th. We will be, as I said, mailing out a bulletin to our existing field force on June 21st, and within those we're going to include some applications, some rate books, some EFT tables, our Underwriting Guidelines booklet that I told you about, consumer brochure, and a trifold consumer brochure. Our sales and marketing team has put in a lot of effort to make sure we have a lot of good, helpful, useful, and educating tools and materials available to you at your fingertips so that you can go out and be successful as an agent. As you'll see here are some additional forms that either are new or revised based on our old products that we had. We have a final expense worksheet that helps calculate the needs for final expenses for your client. We have a brochure that just explains to the consumer the ease of having a final expense policy. Again, that Grandchild rider that I told you about that is so popular, we have a specific flyer for that for consumers. We've got an applications tip page flyer that we've created to walk you through filling out the application. We also offer eApp, which is our electronic application, and we have some information for that as well for you guys out there. All of our forms are available to be viewed online at cfglife.com. You're going to hover over Producers and then scroll down to Resources and select a la carte forms. From there, you'll be able to choose your market class and your state, and you'll be able to view all of the listed forms within that market class for the state you intend to write business in. The forms there are going to be viewable or downloadable in PDF format, and we'll display the form numbers for you so that if you want to call and order a supply of forms, you can do so by contacting our General Services office once contracted. Or if you have questions or need things to get started as an agent and maybe you hadn't yet been contracted because you need to submit your first application, we have a dedicated sales support team that is available Mondays through Fridays from 8 a.m. to 4:30 Eastern Standard Time, and they are there to help you with any and all things needed. Whether you have questions about the application, whether you have questions about products, whether you need an illustration or a quote because you may not have the tools readily available to you at that moment, whether you need form numbers or need to order supplies, they truly are here for you all day, every day, and are available to help you. And again, we pride ourselves in being there for you when you need us. Our jobs truly are to make your jobs easier. Some other forms we have here, obviously the application, the replacement, and the policy owner change forms. And I think that was it for the final expense Dignified Choice Classic Series plans. Again, we're very excited about going live with this. Now, as I had mentioned with the final expense, we do have 4 tiers, and our bottom tier, our Classic Security, is our near guaranteed issue, but there are 4 knockout questions. One last product that I did want to go through today with you guys, for instances where you may not be able to find a tier within the Classic Series or the term life isn't working for your clients, we also have for you a guaranteed issue whole life insurance plan. So our last product we're going to be talking about this morning is our Guaranteed Issue Whole Life. And you'll see the issue ages for that product are going to be 25 to 80, and it's age last birthday. Now, one thing to note, as you'll see at the bottom of the presentation here, if you're on monthly collection mode, the maximum issue age is 75, and the maximum issue amount is $10,000. The face amounts, again, are available from ages 25 to 44. You have face amounts available of $5,000 to $10,000. And then from ages 45 to 80, you have issue amounts available of $2,500 to $25,000. And again, that same caveat at the bottom is going to be applicable there. Anyone on monthly collection mode, that maximum issue age is going to be 75, and the maximum amount is $10,000. We offer the premium modes there below of annual, semi-annual, quarterly, monthly EFT, and monthly collection. The screen here in this area, I don't know if we have any agents in New York, Maine, or Vermont on the phone, but you'll note here that there are some different issue ages and amounts there based on those states and the state limits and regulations on that. The Guaranteed Issue Whole Life, again, the death benefit, the policy pays a return of premiums plus 6% interest for non-accidental death occurring within the first 3 years. The full face amount is payable for death occurring after 3-year graded benefit period or for accidental death in any year, and that's provided the premiums are paid. For underwriting, there's no health questions for this plan. The policy, however, is not intended for individuals who are terminally ill, who abuse intravenous drugs, or are confined at home or to a hospital, hospice, clinic, assisted living facility, nursing home, or convalescent home. Now, one thing I do want to make note of on the guaranteed issue whole life is that the application for this requires that you do affirm that you have no knowledge of any terminal illness of the proposed insured. Now, the following examples of terminal illness with respect to the guaranteed issue whole life product would be any single or multiple organ end stage disease, a positive test result for HIV or diagnosis of AIDS or ARC, a diagnosis of a medical condition which is expected to result in death within the next 12 months, or metastatic cancers with poor response to treatment. So for those items, if you have knowledge of those or other terminal illnesses, we ask that you please don't submit the application to our office. For premium classes, we offer male-female, and it is a unismoke, excuse me. And if the agent does not physically see the proposed insured at the time of application, we do ask that it be noted on the application so that a telephone interview can be conducted by the company. For the guaranteed issue product, there are no riders available, but coverage does continue and premiums are payable to age 121. And I think that is all we had on that. So with that, those again were our 3 products that we wanted to go through today, hoping that this provides you with some additional information about the products we offer and get you excited about checking out the other products within our portfolio. Again, please call us, contact us, reach out to myself, to Mike, to Mark, or to our dedicated sales support team, and we will walk through any questions at any time. There are no wrong questions. We're here to help. We're here to make your job, again, as easy as possible. So please call us. We look forward to having a long relationship with all of you. We appreciate all that you do. And thank you guys very much for your time. So with that, I will ask Mark to open up the floor. Again, myself, Carrie Palmieri, the Director of Marketing Administration out of the home office in Binghamton, New York. And Karen Amatrano is our Second Vice President of Underwriting. And Mike Oliver is your Regional Sales Director. We're all here to answer any questions that you have.
Well, once again, Carrie, thank you very much for very informative and keeping it pretty much simple for us to understand the key products that we would like to see our agents bring more to the table. Mike, did you have anything at this time that you wanted to bring up before we get into other questions and answers?
Well, no, I think Carrie done a great job. But I mean, one thing I do want to clarify that a lot of agents get confused with is the guarantee issue whole life is separate from the final expense, and that product can be sold regardless of your percentage, because with the final expense you do have that 30% quarter, where with the guarantee issue whole life, it is, if they do not qualify for anything with the final expense, you have this as a backup. So you've got that availability there for you. So that's the great thing about the guarantee issue whole life. So just to understand that that guarantee issue whole life is separate from the Dignified Choice product.
Thank you very much, Mike. And that one is simply called the guaranteed issue whole life, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, briefly, let me quickly hit on some of the highlight points then. Before I do that, Karen, in underwriting, is there anything special that you might want to bring to the attention of the agents?
Yeah, I do want to mention that we have 10 underwriters. We're all happy to help you if you have any underwriting questions. The underwriting extension is 5904. If you want to talk to me personally, my extension is 5255. Also, I'm sure Mike or Carrie can provide you with my email address. You know, if you're out in the field at night, I can't say I'm checking every 15 minutes, but I do check my emails regularly, and I'd be happy to get back to you with an underwriting question. We're certainly happy to get back to you the next day with the answer to the questions. You know, we're excited to have you on board. Excited to have you, you know, starting up with us. As Carrie mentioned, and I've been to a number of meetings, final expense, the next generation, it's going very, very well. Everybody's very excited about the fact that we actually have 4 products on one application. I would make sure that you take notice of the age limits, because for the graded plans, the minimum age is age 45. So unfortunately, if you had somebody who was 35 and they were declined for the full benefit plans, we would not be able to offer them the graded plans. However, as Mike mentioned, we do have a guaranteed issue product available at age 25. So, you know, we feel like we've got a lot covered. A lot of insureds can come in and get coverage with our company. That was one of the purposes of adding some additional plans. And also, our elite rates are great. And we're finding, you know, as Carrie mentioned, that most people are coming in, applying for elite, and getting the elite rate. So, you know, we're very excited about the feedback and the results that we're seeing.
Thank you, Karen. Well, let me give you my brief little outline, ladies and gentlemen, over today's presentation. And I want to begin with the fact that, yes, Columbian is a very agent-friendly life company. And as agents have found out in the past, dealing with some can be difficult. That is definitely one of the sweet spots why we like Columbian going forward, that you've got an access point not only through us, but to be able to talk to them directly. And just for clarification, what would be the 800 number that the agents need to touch base for that help?
I would use the 1-800-423-9765.
Excellent.
From there, we have an automated system which will guide them to the correct department based on their responses through the IVR. But honestly, the most important 2 numbers to remember, I think, would be the underwriting extension that Karen just gave you, and then our sales support extension, which is 7582. If you're ever not sure where to go or who to ask, that's our sales support line. Call them. They're here to help. If they don't have the answer, they know who to go to get the answer. And that really can be your one stop if you ever need us for anything. Again, as Karen said also, I just want to reiterate, I'm also available for any questions at any time. My direct extension is 6336. Like Karen, I am checking my emails every day, all day. So if you email me ever, if you have a question or need anything, feel free to email me. I'll get back to you on that immediately as well. My direct email address is Carrie, that's CARRIE, Palmieri, that's PALMIERI, @cfglife.com. Again, please check out our website at www.cfglife.com. You will find a plethora of information available to you on there as well.
Great. Thank you again, ladies, for that information. Second point I wanted to bring up was the benefit of the simplified issue term. And just to make sure that you agents are understanding, and it happens many times, you're looking for a non-med product, here's your non-med product. And that's exactly what we're going to be able to offer with Columbian, up to a standard table D. So let me just throw a question out there to you, Karen. I've got a client, he's 63 years old. He's looking at this non-med product. He does have type 1 diabetes. It is insulin controlled. He has no height or weight issues, maybe slightly elevated blood pressure, but again, under control. Is that the type of client that might find approval for this non-med product?
Okay, can you tell me how long he's been an insulin-dependent diabetic for?
Well, let's say that he didn't become diabetic until age 58. So 7 years maybe? Or is that 2 years? I say 60?
Okay, yeah, so as long as, so he's 58, did you say, or how old is he now, 63?
Yeah, let's make him 63 and 58 diagnosed with type 1.
Okay, so as long as it's been less than 6 years that he's been insulin-dependent diabetic, and as long as it's under control and his height and weight is normal, non-smoker, which is important too, he would qualify for this product.
He would qualify.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
But if he had been insulin diabetic for 6 or more years, he would not. Or if he was 18 to 49, we are stricter with the insulin-dependent diabetics than we are with the type 2 diabetics.
Which is even better. So if they're just on the metformin on a pill, there's probably even a better chance of them getting the standard table rating for the simplified issue term.
Right, as long as they're a non-smoker, that's really important in combination with diabetes, and as long as they're over age 29, yes.
Thank you very much, and yes, that non-smoker is very important. The child rider with the convertibility, ladies and gentlemen, all the way up to age 25, that's a great little benefit to have because products that we didn't get into today, but Columbian does have some very good whole life products. I'm not sure what the conversion product of selection would be. Mike, could you give me a little guidance there? If we've got that simplified issue term and we've got a child rider on there, what could that child possibly convert to?
Well, they can convert to any permanent plan after age 25, and it's up to 5 times the amount of the rider benefit.
Up to 5 times the rider?
Yes.
And any product that's offered at the time by Columbian?
Right now, for the term life and the final expense, the riders there, it's convertible to our final expense product.
Well,
we are in the process of looking at additional products.
Okay. Okay.
Now, one thing too, Mark, to point out on that, where we're talking about Table D rating, so the standard rates. A lot of agents on that product, there's one rate. It's standard rates through Table D. So if a person can go up 4 tables, and the rate does not change, so there's no rate up on that product. You either get it or you don't, and that's how simple it works.
And that's very important. Yes, that's very good.
Yeah, I do want to say, too, if we have any questions, something comes up with the prescriptions or the MIB, the additional tool that we use is we will order a telephone interview in-house to try to clarify whether the proposed insured, would qualify for the product or not for the term life. I would say right now our PHI percentage is about 25%. But remember, that's instead of an APS, it's instead of blood work, instead of urinalysis, instead of an exam, instead of an EKG. So, we try to make decisions based on that. So, we can get the decision to you, fast, hopefully get the policy issued. But sometimes we do, find information that you may not be aware of that's not on the application regarding medications or MIB.
That's important as well. Thank you, Karen.
Mark, I want to throw one kudos to Karen and her team. The one thing that they promise is once they have all the information they need to make an underwriting decision, it'll be made within 24 hours, and she holds pretty close to that.
That's great. Thank you. I do have one other question. Maybe you can look at your records. When did South Carolina become available with the Dignified choice? Because I noticed here in North Carolina we were on 3rd phase, but is it already available in South Carolina?
Yeah, well, that was May 2nd.
May 2nd, okay.
Yep. And then there was a 30-day period where both products were available. But right now in South Carolina, it is only our new product that's available for final expense.
So you have about 10 states that's available right now for immediate sale of the product, and then all the other states are going to be July 5th.
Yes, yep.
Okay. With that in mind, again, ladies and gentlemen, I know you're familiar in some ways with the Messer website and using our quoting tools. There is a tool on that website for final expense, but I'm going to say with caution until perhaps I review some of these numbers with Mike that perhaps it might not be current in the case of all states to these new products. So with that in mind, I would say please do check in with us, or please do again take advantage of the offer to call into that sales line at 800-423-9765. Go through the process and get over to the sales desk of 7582 and get that quote, because I don't think that the quotes on our tool right now through the FEX search engine are totally current for all the different states.
Yeah, and you can also go and download our application through the App Store or through Google Play, which will give you our handheld calculators as well.
Excellent. So they can do that from the
Yeah.
www.cfglife.com?
They can actually do that from cfglife.com if they would like to download it on a desktop computer. If they would like it on an iPad or an iPhone, they would open up their App Store and they would search CFG Final Expense Rate Calculator.
Okay.
And again, if they, for whatever reason, if anyone can't remember that, or if you have questions about how to do that, 7582. I can't stress that number enough. If you memorize anything today, it's 7582. It's our sales support team.
And to add to that, Mark, now they can go ahead and download those calculators now. The Dignified Choice is available in all states right now, except for the test states that's already been over 30 days. So that rate calculator, as the new product opens up, it will open up also. But if they need something that they want to sell in a state like North Carolina that they want to sell the final expense product through us, it's still available. It's just the Classic 1, Classic 2 series.
Which is the one I believe our quote software is quoting right now. That's why I want to be particular with the states that the new products may be available to.
So if they,
example,
if they do business, excuse me, Carrie, if they do business in North Carolina and South Carolina and they download that software, if they choose South Carolina, then the new rates will be available on there for them. If they choose North Carolina, then the old product will still be there until, the 5th.
Okay. All right, thank you again. And one thing I don't know that we touched on, but Mike, can you explain what monthly collection is for payment?
That's something that you guys are not set up for.
Okay.
That's something that Roy made a decision that, so you guys are on the EFT mode, semi-annual, annual, and quarterly modes.
All right, so I'll have that discussion with you.
Right.
All right. Again, agents out there today that have registered, that were with us, that we can print the list and see. If you are able to bring an application to the table in the next 30 days, and like said, with the proficiency of the department, perhaps that'll be all taken care of within a 48-hour window of time. Messer Financial would like to enhance your commission by $50 on that first sale, and that's sale only. So, yes, we want you to get the husband and wife both, but we're only going to bonus one of those applications. So, again, with all that in mind, my thanks to Mike, my thanks to Carrie, and my thanks again to Karen, for all of you, for the team being there for us today. And we look forward to working with you guys much more in the future.
That's great. And anything we can do to help, let us know, and we'll be glad to help you guys.
Yeah, we're here for you, all of us. So
that's great to know. Thank you, guys. And again, agents, next week, Wednesday, 9 o'clock, be there. Or B square.
Thank you so much
Thanks,
for your
guys.
time today, everyone.
Yep. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye now.